Not just very relaxed, right?
Very relaxed, Grandpa. I just wrote stuff down for myself.
Like here I am talking with Grandpa.
Yeah, you're just talking to me. Why do you choose this chair? How did this end up becoming the seat that we can always find you in?
When we bought this house, I was most intrigued with my backyard. And we have a 3-acre backyard here, playground for the kids. Mm-hmm. And I can see everything outside and most everything inside is the chair that gives me the panorama of almost everything.
Everything you built.
Everything I built, or we built.
When I think of our family, 3 kind of like pillars come to mind. Our family values, like the faith, family first, the family business, and football. Those are kind of the 3 things when I think about our family and my upbringing and you. Those are kind of the 3 things everything is built around. So I want to go back to your family first. So what was your childhood like? Like, what was it like growing up in your home?
I would say that I grew up in a typical 1950 to 60. By 1950, I'm 6 years old, and I'm in kindergarten or first grade, and that's when it really, all the memories, most of them start happening. And I would say I was very fortunate to be raised by a loving couple, Ray and Julia, mom and dad, and I had 2 sisters and a brother. And I would say it was kind of back in those days a typical family. We were in the east side of Binghamton where I grew up, spent my whole life, and after college went back, bought a house within a block of where I grew up because I loved it so much, and spent 31 years back on the east side raising a family. It was a wonderful neighborhood in the 50s. The 50s were good years. It was post-World War II and post-Korea. So that President Eisenhower had a wonderful presidency, peaceful, prosperity. America growth in the 1950s was unbelievable because we started the 50s with no televisions. Landlines for a telephone was 3 or 4 homes on one line.
Yeah.
And that was what everybody did. The fact that we all were in the same place, middle America, low middle America, everybody had about the same amount of stuff as far as there wasn't a cringe on what do I have or who's wearing the best stuff or whatever. It was just a great time to grow up in the 50s. Wonderful era.
What was it like in your home, like with your family? Were you close to your aunts and uncles like we are? Was it more just your
family?
Very
fortunate that, again, back in those days, there wasn't the California, Florida, get out of Broome County, get out of New York State, rush. People grew up and, for the most part, got married early, between 17 and 25, started their families early because college was... maybe 1 in 10 families went to college. I was the first in my family to get a college degree. So people grew up and, for the most part, stayed in the area they grew up so they could be close to family because family was everything.
Yeah. Was it different? I think it probably was very different. Now we have such like big dreams of going and getting out and doing bigger things. What was it like when you were a kid to like dream about your future? Like, did you have bigger dreams, or was it always kind of the future of staying close to your family?
I would say that for the most part in those days, it was an era where boys would grow up and want to play baseball, basketball, and football. There were 3 sports. And your dream might be to be excellent at one of them. I always dreamt that I could be a real good football player. And we played at the park every day. But there were 3 main sports, unlike today where and it's wonderful because it takes in more children. But it was a 3-sport era.
Yeah.
And you grew up, your dreams mostly in Hollywood was just busting out. Your
Yeah.
dream was to be a rock and roll artist. Elvis came on the scene in '54, and it just seems like the 50s were a great era where just everything blew out, and it was exciting. And
Things
I
were
want to
new.
be a movie star. I want to be a rock and roll singer, buy a guitar like Elvis did.
Yeah.
Or I want to be a Johnny Unitas quarterback, and probably similar to what kids want today, but with a lot less anxiety and a lot less pressure to accomplish.
We have so much more access to the world. So it made me think about like growing up how you did with your family around and less, you don't have everything literally in the palm of your hand to see. So I was curious like what, like you said, what the dreams kind of were then. It was more, I feel like there was just less to look at. So your dreams were much more almost
It was
realistic.
a much smaller world.
Smaller world, yeah.
It was a neighborhood world. I can honestly say that K through 12, I hardly ever left the east side of Binghamton. We didn't have family vacations. We didn't fly here or there. I never flew until I went for a scholarship at Auburn University. My first time I ever flew, maybe when I was 18, 19 years old. We never left Binghamton.
Right.
I lived probably K through 12 in a 3-mile radius.
Yeah.
And most of the other kids did too. So
You never really thought much of it.
no,
Never knew any different.
no.
Where do you fall in your birth order when your siblings?
My sister Donna was the oldest. She's a couple of years older. Sally came next, and then myself and my brother 2 years after me. So there were 4 probably in a 6-year range.
Were you close with your siblings?
I was probably, back then, I would say it was more likely that the girls hung out with the girls, and guys hung out with the guys. There weren't a lot of interloping, and I didn't get do a lot with my brother because he was kind of the opposite of me. I was an athlete, and I was always practicing. I was always hanging with these guys that were athletes.
Yeah.
And he did his thing, I did my thing. We had a wonderful relationship. I can never remember ever in my life arguments in my home.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Among siblings.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
When did football come on the scene? Because I've asked you before, and your dad didn't play like ours. Like we grew up with everyone had art. It just was. It was it. It was the thing you played because your parents did it and we did it and whatever. But when for you, did it come on?
Life and success in life is determined by hard work and luck. And as far as the football, I sat the bench my 9th grade. I sat the bench because I was a scrawny, skinny kid, and there was a kid better than me at quarterback. So I decided not to play the following year, my 10th grade year. I decided not to play. Me and my buddy said it's not worth all that hard work, and we never got in as a freshman. And you talk about direction from God or direction from whomever. I was in study hall as a 10th grader in September, early September, and the JV coach came in the study hall and said, "Where's Raymond Stanton? Raise your hand." And I rose my hand. He said, "Come on the hallway." And he said, "What size shoes do you take, spikes do you take?" And I go, 12. Why, coach? He goes, "We need you." I said, "Well, I'm not playing football." He goes, "Yeah, you are." He says, "We just lost our quarterback." The quarterback on JV, the guy that was ahead of me on the freshman, got stung by a bee on his wrist. It got infected, and he had to have an operation. And he was out for the year. And all of a sudden, I went from being a nothing freshman to a starting JV, and that's how I got involved in football. Had that not happened,
You owe everything to a bumblebee.
I owe everything to a bee sting, and that became. They found out, and I found out I had a real good arm. I wasn't a well-rounded athlete. I played basketball and baseball, but I had a good throwing arm, a real good throwing arm, and even though I lacked agility and speed, I was able to play quarterback.
Yeah.
Probably the only position in all sports that I could be really good at, quarterback.
There's only one.
Yeah.
You told me that you, as a teenager, you were, these are your words, kind of all talk. You had a lot of confidence, but you didn't actually go for a lot or go for the girls the way you talked about doing it, and that kind of led to you meeting Grandma. But talk a little bit about like you in your teenage years, your high school.
I was like most kids, and you know, I ended up being a teacher, coach, principal, and all that. But when you're a teenager, all teenagers are very shy about their ability, their intelligence, their personality, and you're always wondering, am I as good as them? What do they really think of me? And so there's a phrase, fake it till you make it. And there was a television program that included a character called the Fonz.
Yeah.
And the Fonz was a 50s character who wore a leather jacket, and he was Mr. Everything, and it was all show and no go. And that I adopted a personality that friendship meant everything to me, as it does most kids. I wanted to be everybody's friend. I mean, there's a big sense of inferiority complex when you're a teenager. Until you know, it follows you right through life, actually.
Yeah.
And the teenage years are very difficult, and that's why I enjoyed being a teacher, because I could help kids staying close to what I had gone through. It was part of growing up, so I faked it till I made it, and so I was this guy that was friendly with everybody. I was class president. I was Mr. Quarterback, and I was so outgoing that I never had a date in high school, 9 through 12, until my senior year.
Yeah. Was that date Grandma?
That day was Grandma.
How did that come to be? Tell that story. That's my favorite story.
It's another oddball, because I went to join the fraternity. We had fraternity sororities in high school. And
Yeah, that's so crazy.
I went to join a fraternity called Zeta Phi. It was, if you're anybody, if you're the athlete, or if you're a cheerleader, or whatever you are, you got to be in Zeta Phi, because it's the in crowd. And then there was this nerdy group called Alpha Beta. They were what we would classify as the nerds. Well, me and my buddy Joe Mastinardi decided, we heard about Hell Night. Hell Night was pretty bad in high school. But, you know, they take your pants down, they take a board and slap you, and they make you eat worms and all that. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to pledge anywhere, because I don't want to go through that. So along comes one of the nerdy Alpha Beta guys and says, hey, Raymond, do you want to be in Alpha Beta? I go, no, guys, I just turned Zeta Phi down because I don't want to go through all that crap. And they go, well, we got an offer for you. We want you to be our president. I said, hey, I'm going to be the president of Alpha Beta. So me and Joe jumped in Alpha Beta with me being the leader, the Fonz. And we made up these cards. There was a TV program, a Western called Half Gun Will Travel, about a gunslinger. And I made up business cards, Half Frat Will Travel. And we gave these out to all the girls we saw downtown. Thursday nights used to be everybody goes downtown and meets people. And we'd hand out Half Frat Will Travel cards. Do you want to have a joint meeting? Nothing to do with marijuana back then. A joint meeting meant your sorority and our fraternity will get together on a Friday night and cut a couple records and dance at some girl's house.
Yeah, a mixer.
So we'd get a mixer, and Alpha Beta, man, we'd bring a canvas bag of about two 2 cartons of beer, throw them in the bathtub with ice, and we'd have a party. And we did that 6, 8 times, and we became the #1 fraternity in Broome County. And it was a ball. But at one of those parties in April of my senior year, I'm the Fonzie again. I'm going around. I got a little black book. I'm taking girls' names. I might call you one of these days. What's your name and your number? I'd do all this. And remember now, I'd never had a date because I couldn't finish it off. I was afraid of getting turned down. So long story short, I did that with 6 or 8 girls at that party. And I remember one distinctly. There was this short blonde, beautiful blonde that I dated with. And I didn't date with, but I did tap her on the shoulder, and we did one slow dance. And I was like, man, oh, man. And that was it. And about a week later, my buddy Joe says, you've been in school now 4 years with me. He had a girl that he'd been going with 3 years. He had a hot convertible, a 52 Ford convertible. And he goes, I'll bet you $5, which $5 back then is 50 today, 100?
Yeah.
I'll bet you $5 you can't get a date for the drive-in theater this coming Saturday. And of course, being the Fonz character, I go, that's easy. Consider it done. And then I go, holy cow, who am I going to ask? I've never had a date.
Now you got to get a date.
So I start calling these girls in my little black book, and I get down to one of the last ones. It's Nikki Zinnick.
Was it in alphabetical order?
No, it just happened to be SC 51564. Never forget it. So I called her up. I said, no, I'm seeing somebody. No, I really don't want to know. And so I end up almost
losing the bet.
Almost on my knees saying, hey, you got to date. Look at it. I swear to God, it's going to be one movie at a drive-in theater. We're going to be sitting in back. My buddy's hot with his girl because he's been dating him for 3 years. But you and I are going to eat popcorn and watch a movie. I won't bother you at all, please. And I didn't let up. She said, okay, I'll do it one time. And I won the bet and took Grandma to the movies in April of 1961. Wow. And we've been together, and she's been the only lady for all these years.
Now, before watching this, did Grandma know that you asked her out for a bet? Or is she finding out about that in real time?
Over the years, it surfaced. Yeah. yeah.
So you graduate high school. Do you go right to Auburn for football, or did you play?
No, because in high school I didn't have. I had a decent year. I led the league in passing, but our team was average 4-3 or whatever we were back then. We only played 7 games. So my coach said, there's a prep school, like a military prep school, mm-hmm. where athletes go their senior year if they don't get any offers to play one more year and maybe get an offer. So I went down there and made all-league Augusta Military Academy.
Okay.
And got offers from Duke, NC State, Virginia, Auburn, a bunch of them, and decided after a few airplane rides and visitations I'd go to Auburn. Because at that time, I think in 57, they won the national championship, and this is 1961, so they were SEC big time.
Yeah. Did you go there thinking like football was it? Was that
the goal? Yeah, like all athletes, I thought I'm going to go down to Auburn and set the world on fire, and
NFL was the goal.
Yeah. Going to be a professional football player.
What happened?
Well, in 1961, actually I went in 62 because I went to prep school for fall of 61. Mm-hmm. 62, I go to Auburn.
Yeah.
And in 62, it was still the South was still segregated.
Okay.
The culture in the South was very strange. Mm-hmm. For me as a northern guy who had played football with interracial groups and didn't have any type of problem with the race, and down there everything was the blacks are the blacks. They eat over here. They go to these bathrooms. Wow. They get off the sidewalk when you walk down the sidewalk. they get off because...
Really? It
And
was still that segregated.
the biggest thing was I had fallen madly in love.
Yeah.
And so I'm down there, a very difficult year, because the moment I left, I missed Nikki. Because from April to August, which is what, April, May, June, July, August, about 4 or 5 months we were together daily, fell in love. So I miss her, and it's not because of her, but I played the freshman year. I played that year and rotated with the freshman quarterback. But the varsity quarterback was a sophomore, and he made All-American.
Wow.
So I go, I'm down here. I'm lonely. I don't like the culture. I miss Grandma terribly. And the guy ahead of me, he's got 2 more years, and he's All-American.
Yeah.
So I'm out of here.
Right.
And I came home and finished my education with Grandma at Cortland State.
Oh, okay. So you did a year at Auburn
Yeah.
and then came back.
Yeah.
So you go back, you're at Cortland, and you start, how soon after that did you marry Grandma?
Let's see, 2 years.
Okay.
We dated and went to school in 2 years. We married. She was a senior and I had 2 years left.
Okay. And then you started teaching.
Started teaching, started a family, and got my first job at Shenango Valley High School.
Okay. And then in 1970, you start the TC Jets.
In 1967, I started teaching at Shenango Valley. And in 1968, I got an opportunity. Principal calls me up from my old high school, North High School.
Okay.
There's a math opening. Would you like it? And I jumped right back at North High. My old high school, I was there 17 years teaching math and coaching football. And Grandma and I in 67, 2 years after I got back here. No, actually, we got married in 65 in college. How can I forget that?
You got married when you were still at
We
Cortland.
got married in Cortland. And,
Okay. That was common back then? To get
oh,
married while you were in
yeah.
college?
It was common to get married right out of high school.
Okay.
Remember now, 1 out of 10 kids went to college, so 9 out of 10 got a
so
job.
It was more common to get married.
Got a
at that
job,
age.
got a lady, got married, and started a family by. If you didn't start your family by 20, I'd say 3 or 4 people were wondering, geez, what's the problem?
It was more common to be married with a kid at that age than to be in college.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Now it's.
The opposite.
Yep.
Yeah. So you get married, you're working, you're coaching at the high school, right? Did you coach and teach at Binghamton? And then you start how did the Jets come to be? And what exactly were they?
In 1970, I got a call from a semi-pro team in Oneonta.
Okay.
They had heard that I played at Auburn, and they were looking for a quarterback. And they offered me the quarterback position and the head coach position so they could pay me. And I went to a league meeting to be introduced as the new head coach at Oneonta. And at the league meeting, there's another godsend. At the league meeting, one of the teams drops out. And the director of the league says, hey, Stanton, what's the population in Binghamton? And I told him, he said, geez, that's larger than Oneonta. Why don't you put a team in Binghamton? I go, do what? I come out of that league meeting where I was being introduced as the new head coach of Oneonta, as the new team owner of Binghamton, go back home and get the team going.
So you just got thrown right into the league.
I got directed by a power above to
that big man upstairs.
to start a semi-pro team, and it did wonders because at that time there were no B Mets, there was no hockey, there was no game in town.
Right.
And we broke all kinds of records, 10, 15,000 at each game, and we won every game, and it put my name out in front of the community.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, nobody knew me other than my North High teaching friends.
Right.
To a year down the road, Stanton this, Stanton that,
right.
Stanton this. and it was a wonderful experience.
I have a quote here from there was a Facebook post when you guys were inducted into the Binghamton Hall of Fame, right? It was Binghamton Football Hall of Fame? This is from John Cornick. Said, "It was so exciting the first game alone. At the old North High School, we run on the field, and here's 6,000 people in the stands, and it was just the first game. It was very exciting." And then Dave Birch said...
My defensive end.
And John Cornick, what did he play?
He played safety.
Right.
2 ball players.
Okay. And Dave Birch said, "You couldn't run out of bounds because there were all spectators surrounding the rectangle on the field. It was an outstanding contest. Then you go to Scranton to their stadium, and they had to close I-81 for the fans to get into the stadium because the traffic had backed up that much."
It was the thing to do, go to a Jet game. And when we played, Scranton was the best team in the league besides us.
Yeah.
And so when we played Scranton, we'd have 14,000 people.
How did that feel?
Just amazing. It was exciting. It hadn't been done since, before or since, has there been a crowd of 13,000 people at a high school stadium. And we just, right place, right time. It was godsend.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was right place, right time.
And you think that's what really kind of cemented you as like a known, or maybe not cemented you, but what made you into a known figure?
It definitely introduced me to the community, because now I'm dealing with, I'm talking at functions, I'm meeting the mayors, and I'm meeting the business people in town, and it helped me later on when I went into business.
Yeah.
It was just a godsend.
And one more question about football. What is it about the game of football that makes it so special and that made it stick through with you your whole life and pass down to your kids and your grandkids, and it's become this tangible thing almost in your life?
I think sports.
Yeah.
The competition and the ability to prove yourself and the ability to win. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot from winning, you learn a lot from losing, but it matures you mentally, physically. It gives you friendships that'll last. We're all in our 80s now. We got the team itself got inducted in the Broome County, the Binghamton Hall of Fame last April. And we still had, we had 22 people out of 38, a team of 38, 55 years later.
Yeah.
And we're all talking about, remember the Jets. It was just, sports gives you an edge that other people that don't participate can never know, because you challenge yourself. And sometimes you lose and you have to learn to get back up, and sometimes you win and you can just feel the overall joy of winning.
Mm-hmm. By the time the Jets comes around and you have all this success and you're becoming this known person in town, you've been married now for several years. You've probably got about 4 to 5 kids. Was being a dad and building such a big family always part of the plan, or was it something that kind of just happened?
Family planning wasn't a thing with Catholics back then, or with most anybody. If you had, if mama got pregnant, you had a baby.
Right.
And we had 6 children in 7 years.
That's wild.
So we got married at 65. By 72, I'm still playing football, of course.
Yeah.
I played till 78. I'm playing football out there, crazy me. I'm playing semi-pro football, which is rock'em, sock'em, cheap shot, whatever you want to do. And I got grandma in the stands with 7 kids or 6 kids. It's like crazy. Ray, you're crazy. What the hell are you doing, man? You're crazy. What happens if you get hurt? And I was a teacher, though. I had good insurance. I had a steady job, and but it was a little crazy to do what I did with the football back then.
Yeah. In that time, you've got, like you said, you're teaching, you're playing, you're also coaching and managing the team. And then you've got your family at home growing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Did each role you're playing, they're all kind of leadership roles. You've always really been a leader your whole life. Did all of those things kind of inform one another, like football being a teacher, informing parenting?
I think, and I don't know why, in 3rd grade, I remember teachers used to write comments when they sent your report card home. There was a comment section. And the teacher, and I don't realize I said this or anything, but the third grade teacher said, Raymond wants to be a teacher coach and he'll be a good one. So she saw some leadership qualities with me on the playground or whatever. I always, and most people do, I cherished my friendships with my athletic friends meant the world to me.
Yeah.
And I cherished all the different levels of friendships, whether it was high school, prep school, college, coaching, semi-pro, golfing.
Yeah.
Just it's
I mean,
to me the most important thing in the world. Now as I'm elder, 82, as I'm an elder, I know what I've known my entire life, but didn't emphasize it. But as you get older, you sit back and say, it's all about family.
yeah.
It's all about family and love and happiness. Because if everybody needs a job, everybody needs money. And the more money you have, I guess it's easier, it takes a lot of pressure off you. But I can honestly say that as a struggling teacher, coach making $6,500 a year in 1972 with 6 kids, having a daily routine that went from 7:30 in the morning till 8 at night with the teaching, coaching, semi-pro, outselling ads, I was just as happy in those years as I've been in all my successful years.
Yeah.
They've all been great. I've been a very lucky man, but it's about love and friendship
Yeah.
and happiness.
Do you think that was something your family instilled in you, or it's just kind of what you've come to know and realized over time?
I think because growing up on the East Side, my mother and her 6 siblings
Yeah.
all lived within 2 blocks. So I had 8 to 10 aunts and uncles and 20-something cousins. It was always a nest egg or a beehive or whatever. We were always close.
That's what you knew.
And as my family grew larger and larger, it just brought together everything I had always dreamt of. And I always want to be surrounded by love and friendship.
Yeah.
And the more the merrier.
Yeah.
I remember back in the 70s, it was a time when people were thinking about, is there enough food on the globe to serve everybody? And it really wasn't in to have 7 children. It was in to have cut back maybe to 1 or 2 because planet Earth can't.
Right.
And I'm sure glad that I didn't get involved in all that stuff because now that I sit here at age 82 and look back on my life, everything I have that means anything at all to me has no material to it. It's all love and friendship.
Yeah, and it shows. Now, when you were building your family, when you were having kids, and the era of time of like my dad's childhood per se, when your kids were young and you were about to start the business or just started the business, and you were also coaching and playing and teaching, is there a time, because I've grown up hearing so many stories, is there one that comes to mind for you of that time that's just at the forefront when you think about that time?
I can always say that although we didn't have hardly anything, we were low middle income. And when you have 6, 7 kids, you're low middle income. You live paycheck to paycheck like a lot of people do now.
Yeah.
Didn't hurt us at all, and we certainly had enough to eat, and I've maintained a good weight my whole life. But we certainly in the 50s, 60s, 70s didn't have what people have today.
Yeah.
Remember, we had our first TV, my family, in 1952, I think, a little 17-inch black and white TV with rabbit ears to get in 1 or 2 stations. And today it is so, we're blessed with so many things, and yet all these blessings have taken away a lot of opportunity for our youth and our young people to learn on their own, to discover on their own, and to create on their own, because everything's handed right to them.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing to some extent, and it's kind of scary to other extents where, you know, how do you develop? If I had 7 kids right now today and they were, you know, young kids, it'd be probably more difficult to raise them with all the opportunity and all the interference.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very different.
It was very easy. I mean, back in the 50s, 60s, you went to your job, you come home, and that was it.
Right.
And in the mid to late 50s, then you started having your Burger Kings and your McDonald's, but you still stayed in your own neighborhood. And like I said, we never once, never once K through 12 had a family vacation.
Right.
Back then, most people didn't do it because they were locked into their job and they just couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And you didn't miss it because it was something you never had.
Right.
I never drove to the beach. I never flew here or there or where, but
just simpler time. Now, when your dad passed away, my dad said he thinks he was about 9 years old. Do you remember what year that was?
Well, your dad was born in 70, and my dad passed away in 79, so
yeah,
it would have been 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the first time you had like a loss like that?
I lost a very, very close friend that I worked out with every day, and he played Jets with me, and he played basketball, and we had about a 7-8 year relationship, very close, Harlan Brew, and he got in a car accident at age 32. 6 years into the Jets, we were still playing, he was still playing. And I lost Harlan, and that was very difficult. And the following year, I lost my dad, age 59, with a heart attack. So those two were really, really knocked me silly.
Yeah.
For a couple of years even, it was very tough. Difficult. The 2 men in my life, the 2 most important men in my life, my best friend and my dad, in 2 years.
Right.
So that was difficult.
Thinking back on that, what do you think it was that helped you kind of get through
those
years?
Family.
Yeah.
Just watching my kids. I had family.
Yeah.
Without family, it'd been very difficult. But, you move on. You move on. Since then, I've got 100 people on the other side. I say the rosary most every day, and I also say hello to all those 100 people. Mm-hmm. I go through. I got them categorized by early friendships, school friendships, teacher jet friendships, family friendships.
Yeah.
And I just say hi to each one of them by name.
Yeah.
And I hope when I get up there, they all go, you know what, you're the only guy that said hi to me every day. Nobody else ever did that, right?
So 1974 is when I have written down that Dynamite starts. Is that correct?
1975.
Okay, that was 1 year off.
My Uncle Bill, he was a reverend. He got a ticket from Syracuse. Somebody had a envelope full of 2-for-1 coupons called Global something. But they had, for some reason, they had 2 or 3 restaurants in Binghamton area. So Bill gave me a ticket, said buy a dinner, get a dinner at La Caveau. It was a restaurant downtown. He said him and his wife didn't go into restaurants that served alcohol because he's a minister. And he said, do you want this? And I said, what is it? And I looked at it and I go, they can't. I've never seen a coupon like that before because there weren't coupons in 75.
Okay.
So I told Nikki, let's go try it. And we tried it. And I asked the waitress, is this okay? Do you use, oh yeah, we're in a global dining program. And yeah, what you order and then what your wife orders is free.
Wow.
I goes, wow. Well, at the same time, World's Finest Chocolate, I was the class advisor, junior class advisor. And he asked me to come out in the hallway. He said, Ray, you going to do World's Finest this year? I said, yeah.
What's that? What is World's
It's
Finest
candy
chocolate?
bars the kids sell.
Oh, for
You
fundraising.
give each kid a box of 100 candy bars. Back then they sold for $1, you keep 50 cents. So I knew about fundraising. And about the same time I'd had that global ticket, this guy calls me out in the hall and says, you know what, I just got promoted. I'm going to be running all of New York State. My job, Syracuse, Binghamton, Central New York, I'd love you to take my job. I'd be your boss. You'd start at 25 plus 5% commission. Well, at the time in 1975, I'm making probably 8,500. And I'm thinking, holy cow, 3 times what I'm making teaching.
Yeah.
And then I thought, you know, I don't want to give up teaching. I love teaching. And darn it, I can't do that. And it clicked. Start your own business. And again, here's where the godsend happens. When I'm running the TC Jets, our biggest income was our yearbook. We'd go around town and beg ads, beggar ads they
Right.
call them. Go in the bar, go in the restaurant, hey, support the TC Jets, buy a quarter-page ad for $200. And we did 25 grand a year with that
Wow.
yearbook. And that got me the experience of selling.
Yeah.
And I thought, geez, I went around, I'm going to try to get some restaurants. If I can get 10 restaurants to buy one, get one, I can put a little book together for $10, let the group make $5, and I'll make $5. And we started with my junior class. I put a little coupon book together, and it was all pasta because the only people I could get to sell to give away a meal were the pasta restaurants because the cost of pasta.
Yeah.
And we sold like 400 books that first year. So I made 400 times $5.
You made them by hand, the books?
Yeah, we cut them and we stapled them right in my kitchen. The kids, we collated the book together.
Wow.
And it was a small book. There's only 14 or 15 participants.
Yeah.
And I made $2,000. Remember, my salary is $7,500.
Right.
And I got one junior class. I just made $2,000.
Wow.
And so I thought, oh, next year I'm going to try to get some. Well, coaching football, high school football, I went to the other schools and got them to sell. The Dynamate was the name. Dynamate. So they picked up on it. Pretty soon I'm $15, and then pretty soon I'm $20, and I get half of it. And
Yeah.
pretty soon I'm doing 10,000 books in Broome County. 5-6 years later, I'm doing 10,000 books times $5 profit. I'm making 50 part-time, and I'm still only making 15,000 teaching or whatever it was.
Right.
So it became very important to me.
Was there a moment, like, it sounds like it kind of just kept snowballing as you did it, but was there a moment when you realized, like, oh, this could be...
Yeah, Raymond, my son Raymond, my elder son, went to Alabama, and he was in love, and he wanted to come home and get married, and he wanted to get in a bit. I said, Ray, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to do Dynamite. And I go, Ray, I'm making 50, but that's one guy. You get 2 guys, now it's down to 20, 25, and this, I don't know. He goes, Dad, I can do it. And he was the catalyst. He was the spark. I said, you want to try it? Go ahead. I'll make you 50% partner. Because I remember, I'm a principal,
Right.
making 40, 50,000, and I'm not going to give that up because I got insurance, retirement.
Right.
But I can direct Ray, and I was doing Syracuse Binghamton at the time. So Ray jumps in, and he turns out to be the shake and bake guy. He made it happen.
So up until my dad got involved, you were still just kind of boots on the ground doing it as a side hustle
Yeah, it's
almost?
going to be a side, and I'm going to be a principal. I'm going to retire at 55 and then do more of it.
Right.
But I was
Once you're done.
48. Well, your dad comes back. What's it going to take for you to quit your job and come with me and let's take it across the country.
Did you quit?
So I go, Ray, if you can double it next year, we were doing like $50,000.
What year was this? Do you remember?
What year did he leave? He left in 92, left Alabama. I said, if you can double our revenue, that'll make it happen. You double the revenue, I'll quit my job, because I lost half my retirement when I quit at age 48. Instead of getting 80 a year, ended up getting 40. Next year, Ray doubles it.
Yeah.
He doubles it. And I go, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
That's your retirement.
You know, Grandma and I hopped in my 52 Chevy the year that we were dating. And I said, I'm taking you to Atlantic City. We went to Atlantic City with like $60. I'd never driven out of Broome County, but somebody told me Atlantic City is like a 3-hour drive. I'm going to take Grandma to the beach and all this. So, long story short, we go to Atlantic City. And I don't know if I got enough money to get back with gas. I only brought like $50. But we're on the boardwalk, and we go by this fortune teller, a typical fortune teller with a weird outfit on and a glass globe, and come, get your fortune, get your fortune. And Grandma didn't want to do it. I wanted to do it, so I think it was like $2. So I said, there's $2. We go inside, and now it's dark inside.
Oh, gosh.
I'll never forget, she goes, you two love each other very much. I see romance, marriage, lots of children. I'm going, oh man, this is getting pretty exciting. Then she goes, you, a lot of travel, rich, a lot of money, a lot of travel, a lot of money. So long story short, as the years go by, I'm standing in my North High classroom, I'm thinking, I could never get over how right she was with the marriage and the kids. And I'm thinking, fortune teller, where the hell's the travel and the money? I still haven't left Broome County, and I'm 45 years old. And all of a sudden, the Save Around comes, Dynamite comes around, Ray doubles revenue. I quit teaching, and I'm traveling. Ray goes, Dad, where do you want to put the first out-of-town book? And I go, I don't know. I heard Tampa's a good area. It's warm down there in the wintertime. Go to Tampa, put a book together. Where do you want to go next? Let's try. I've heard a lot about Phoenix, Arizona. And all of a sudden, within the next... we sold in 96, so from 92 to 96, in 4 years, we're all over the United States, 30, 40 cities.
Yeah.
Florida, Orlando.
Crazy.
San Diego. Roger was up in Portland, Oregon. His sister lived in Portland. Let's go to his sister's house and put a book in Portland. So all of a sudden, and then 4 years later, we have a good sale. We become millionaires. And I'm thinking, that son of a gun, she got it right. Love, marriage, lots of kids, travel, and money.
So
she nailed it.
You owe everything you have to a bee sting and a psychic.
Oh my God, $2 psychic and a bee sting.
Now, I have a question. When I listen... all these years, have listened to you guys talk about the business and watched you grow it and just grew up around it. You all being my aunts and uncles and everyone in the family that's involved seems to just be so naturally good at business. Like you guys all just know what you're doing and you didn't go to school for it. And do you think that's like a natural knack that you all have, or do you think there was something instilled in you guys?
You know, you learn by example, but I think what I was lucky to do, and remember, hard work, luck. Now in football, I did a lot of hard work. I did have one lucky break where I got invited to the Jets camp, and it was a wonderful experience. I scrimmaged and I played a few rounds with the big boys, but the luck didn't prevail because I got cut and they had 3 quarterbacks and they didn't need another quarterback. But I came that close. So in that instance, it was a lot of hard work and I didn't get what I wanted to. Mm-hmm. In most cases in my life, I've been on the lucky side.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done football without the bee sting. I wouldn't have met Grandma without the phony alpha beta, half frat will travel, and my buddies saying I challenge you to get a date. I wouldn't have had the dynamite if my cousin had or my uncle hadn't said, "Here, try this coupon out." Mm-hmm. It boils down to God gives you opportunities in life. They don't all work.
Yeah.
They don't all work, or we'd all be millionaires. We'd all live happily ever after. But to make any of them work, you got to do your end of it. Mm-hmm. If you're given an opportunity and you have a talent, it's not going to happen by itself, but it can very well happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened to me. It wasn't that I was a great guy. I was a lot different. I think my faith had a lot to do with it. Mm-hmm. I think the fact that I love people so much, and I truly care, and I've always been a good friend.
Yeah.
A good person. I think that helps. But for the most part, it takes a lucky opportunity, meeting the right person, being in the right place at the right time. And for me, I can't answer why it happened.
Yeah.
But it happened enough in my lifetime that I've been one of the luckiest successful persons in the world to sit here with what I have.
Yeah.
Because this is beyond what I ever dreamt. Even though I didn't make the pros and I didn't become a rock and roll singer or some of the things that, like most people dreamt of, it all boils down to family and friends, and I got it all.
But like you said, it's luck, and you got lucky a ton of times, but you also acted on those lucky opportunities. It didn't all just fall into your lap. Once you worked for it.
I saw Elon Musk interviewed, and he said one of the smartest things I ever heard, and the lady said, "You have so many ideas, and everybody wants to be you. How does it feel to be the richest man in the world and everybody wants to be you?" And he goes, "That's not true because I don't want to be me. I don't like being me anymore because I don't know myself. I have so many responsibilities and so forth that don't want to be Elon Musk. I don't want you to want to be Elon Musk because I don't want to be Elon. But let me tell you something. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Everybody has them. It's being smart enough to take one or two of those ideas and execute. You've got to execute. Mm-hmm. Whether it's in the music business, whether it's in the coupon business, whether it's in sports, you got to pay the price and execute. If you don't execute, an idea is not worth it. Here's what ideas are worth nothing if they're not executed.
Yeah.
And he's the best guy for that in the whole wide world. And how he does what he does, and it's not appreciated. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. When I look at Elon Musk, he say, we have a genius among us who's unhappy, has never made marriage work, and it's true when he says, I don't want to be me, but somehow he's accomplished what he's accomplished, but he doesn't have what Ray Stanton has.
Yeah, makes you think.
Because I wouldn't give this up for happiness, because I've got happiness. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad. I actually feel bad for him.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for our president, who's accomplished so much and gets very little credit for it.
when it comes to Dynamite, you sell Dynamite in 1996. At this point, you've got 11 grandkids, one on the way, me on the way. So it feels like when you look at your life at a glance, kind of, there were several decades where everything's just growing. Your family's growing, your business is growing, your team is taking off. All these things are happening kind of all at once. When you think back on that time of everything kind of growing in tandem, what do you remember? How do you remember feeling about it?
There wasn't really time to think, because I also had so many friendships that I'd be at the tavern 2 or 3 nights a week, talking with my buddies, and by the time, and trying to be a parent, thank God I had Grandma. Thank God I had Grandma to be my partner in life, because she actually saved the whole situation. I couldn't have done it. Absolutely couldn't have done it on my own.
Yeah.
Grandma was there with the family, and she allowed me to do my thing. And there's not a lot of women in this world that would give their loved one the ability to go do what you want to do, because it takes so much time away from the family and takes so much time. All that, the Dynamite, the friendships at the sports bars, the football team is all away from home. Mm-hmm. And so I was lucky enough again to have a woman who cared about one thing: her family.
Yeah.
She cared about her family. She wanted to be home with the kids, and that allowed me. That gave me the room that I needed to do what I had to do, and
Yeah.
thank goodness for that.
50 years later, since the business starts, I'm going to read you some statistics, okay? You've sold 3 businesses since then. The family business has evolved into a company that operates in over 170 U.S. markets, partners with more than 170,000 merchants, supports over 10,000 groups and organizations, and has expanded into the fuel and C-store industry with Velocity Logic, creating loyalty software to power loyalty across 10,000 retailers nationwide, processed over 1.2 billion transactions, and generated $1.2 million in value for its clients. What do you feel when you hear that?
I feel that's pretty good for a guy who's never turned on a computer. And I'm not bragging, because I'm a math major, and it's really criminal that I never turned a computer on.
That's pretty crazy.
But we have computers throughout our business, and I just think it's amazing. Again, you are who you hang with, you are who you associate with. And not only my Raymond, but my Luke now, my Annie. I've got family in that make all this possible. This isn't because of Raymond Sr. This is because the growth, the involvement of the family in the business, and I'm mostly retired now. I give advice when I think it's needed.
Yeah.
But being smart enough to hand it down.
Yeah.
To the other people, life goes on. Mm-hmm. Life goes on, and as I see my friends all going to the other world, I know they're within 5-10 years or whatever, Grandma, and I'll be in another world, and it's everything evolves, and it's somebody else's turn. I had my turn.
Yeah.
And wow, what a turn I had.
Yeah.
And so now I'm sitting back, watching the other kids do it, whether it's you in New York or your brother in Nashville, or your other brother in working with his dad, or Gabriella in social work. It's everybody else's turn.
Yeah.
Everybody else is getting into their chapter of their life where they're finding out who they're going to be. And it never ends, because I did mine for decades. Mine didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
I had a decade of teaching and coaching. I had a decade of the sports. I had 2 or 3 decades of the coupon business. I've had a couple decades now of the IT with the loyalty program. So it's an evolving thing.
Yeah.
And if you're with people that you love and you have fun with, it makes it worth it. And I think the apple don't fall far from the tree because my dad was a one man construction guy. He had a little pickup truck and he went around doing kitchens and sidewalks and building garages and I think there's on our side of the family, there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And when you see, when my siblings and my grandchildren see each other doing their thing, it's like fertilizing.
Motivates everybody.
Fertilizing and motivates your entire family.
So speaking of the family and the grandkids, more statistics for you. You're approaching, I think, 61 years of marriage. Does that sound right? 61, 62?
1965, 61 coming up.
61 coming up. You have 7 children, 41 grandchildren, 10 great-grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren on the way. First question, who's your favorite grandchild and why is it me?
Julia, we're supposed to keep it a secret because we don't want to hurt feelings. And like my mother said, I have
Your mother, who I'm named after, by the way.
I knew I was my mother's favorite, but she would say I have a place in my heart for everybody.
It's a big heart for 41 of us.
That's a nice way of getting out of 7 children.
Yeah.
Actually, my favorite is Jody.
Jody's behind the camera. You talked a little bit about this as just kind of how you grew up, but do you think it was an active decision? Because when I tell people how big our family is, the first question I get is like, do you know all your cousins? And I'm like, yeah, I grew up seeing them weekly, multiple times a week. Was it a conscious effort to keep everybody so close, or was it kind of just what came natural to you?
I didn't have a choice because once you're married, you have to make that decision on your own. But I was lucky enough. There was enough love and closeness in our family. No one really wanted to leave. And I think when you have a family that's... my friends always tell me that, wow, not only do you have a lot of children, but I've never seen a family that's so close-knit and so little discord among the grandchildren. And I say, how'd you do that? And I would say, I think Grandma and I have expectations. And the biggest expectation we had as both parents and grandparents is that everybody get along and love each other. We can't accept anything less than that. And that had a lot to do with the kids all liking each other. I have people tell me, Ray, your family is just unbelievable with the love that it has for each other. And that makes me so proud.
Yeah. What do you think, the other thing, I think with our family being so big, is there's so many different minds and opinions and people. And like you said, there's so little conflict. What are your thoughts on kind of navigating that? I feel like a lot of people probably would wonder that too in this day and age. Everyone's got divided opinions and things, and family, I think, can be a tough thing for people to navigate. What do you think, or what are your thoughts on kind of creating the culture you've created despite the fact that you've got 40 plus minds of people to kind of mesh?
I think the most exciting thing about being alive is that everyone knows that no one knows. No one has the secret of life, the secret of future, and that can either be very exciting and very positive, or it can be very negative. You can be on this merry-go-round of life as it goes round and round, because that's what life is. You can be on that merry-go-round, you can hold the bars, and you can stand up and catch a wind and laugh.
Yeah.
You can be one of those people, or you can crouch down, scream out of fear, and hate to ride.
Yeah.
And you just got to choose for yourself that you're going to enjoy this merry-go-round.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy it. And if you can have more joy than you have unjoy, then you're successful. But because there's going to be dark moments, and there's going to be times in your life, whether it's losing my friend and my father, or business things didn't go right, or somebody in my family's ill, or whatever. There's going to be hard times.
Yeah.
You got to always keep the good times outweighing the bad times, and you'll be all right. It's not going to be 100%. If somebody's happy all the time, if you show them a marriage where they're all happy all the time, that probably heading to divorce.
Yeah.
But if you can show me a marriage where there's argument, but very few arguments and a lot of love,
Yeah.
that'll last, because in reality, there's good and there's bad.
Right.
And you just got to hope that the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah. To wrap up, I have some rapid fire questions. I polled the family and I got a couple questions just to throw at you, okay?
I've already told you you're the favorite.
Thank you for putting that on record. Okay. Did you play catch with Luke and Dad in the backyard, and are you the one that taught them to play football?
I honestly spent not enough time with my two boys, but I did coach their little league teams, and I did try to teach them how to do certain things. And the one thing I never did was to tell them what they had to do.
Okay.
You got to play baseball. You got to play football. I could care less as long as they're happy.
Yeah.
Ray, I told Ray, I told your dad, I think it was when he came to high school, because I was a principal when my kids went to high school, that, look, I don't care about A's and B's and all this. Just pass everything. And your dad's response to you, oh man, that'll be easy. Thanks, Dad. And instead of saying, I expect A's out of you. I expect, because when you get your degree, it doesn't say A, B, C, D, F. It just says Binghamton High School graduate. Same way with college.
Yeah.
Just pass.
What's your favorite milestone in life and why?
Definitely. Well, I've been thinking about it when I went to the joint meeting and I saw this pretty little blonde. And then after our first date, I knew that was the one.
Yeah. Was there a moment that made you really believe that God was real, and can you pinpoint a turning point in your faith?
I would say that in everybody's faith, it takes the highs and the lows to find faith and to find God. And I don't think, again, remember, everybody knows and no one knows. I sincerely, with all my heart, know that there's a God who loves love and peace, with expectations to treat everybody as you'd like to be treated, and that there is final judgment. Beyond that, I don't know any more than the next person, but I know there is a creator that, for whatever reasons, he created what he did, that he expects love, friendship, do unto others, and I will have a discussion with you at the end of your life.
Yeah. What's the most significant factor to sustaining a healthy marriage?
Marrying a very, very unselfish, devoted partner.
What was your own grandpa like?
Well, I had two.
Right.
And one was a real difficult, hard-nosed grandpa who didn't have much relationship with, because his mother died at birth, giving him birth, and his father held it against him his whole life. So his father's being nasty, and he was mean and nasty. I had another grandfather, Bill Stanton, who was very friendly and watched baseball with me, and I had a nice relationship with Grandpa Stanton.
What would you tell yourself at 28, which is how old I am right now?
At 28, what would I tell myself? That I haven't even scratched the surface yet. And rather than everything being so urgent and so important, slow down every day, take a look at things, knowing that your life expectation at 28 today is going to be well over 100 years. So think about not what you're going to do or accomplish tomorrow, but what your next 50, 70 years are going to be like. Because it's a long journey. The journeys are long.
Yeah.
They go quick. But don't get too excited about what you have to have accomplished by tomorrow or next week or next year. Because you're in it to win it, and that's a long journey.
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 more questions for you. First one is, you talked a little bit about like when you were younger and you were afraid to date because of fear of rejection. When you think about that and just in general, what would you tell someone with kind of the fear of like doing things because they're afraid of a bad outcome?
Well, number one, you got to be in it to win it. And this fear of I can't accomplish. When I played Little League Baseball, I was afraid I'd strike out, and most of the time I did strike out. So you got to somehow manage that fear and turn it into, I think I can. Later on in life, I played beer league softball, and I was one of the better hitters in it, but I just didn't have the confidence. A lot of us working on self-image confidence.
Yeah.
You got to realize, very important that you realize as early in life as possible that you're every darn bit as good as anybody else. It took me a long time they call that maturation. Some people, I had a friend who was a stack basketball all-star, and I asked him one time, because I'd go down and I'd miss a layup and it'd ruin the game for me. From then on, I missed that layup. It was in my head the whole game. And I said, Dick, what happens when you go down and you miss a layup in front of a crowd? He goes, well, I know I'd make the next 10 of them, so it didn't bother me. Without even thinking about it. He had that self-confidence that I didn't have. I said, shit, there you go. I knew that although I missed that one, I'll make the next 10.
Yeah.
I said, geez, I missed that pass, I'll make the next 5 passes. So you got to work on self-confidence. It's not easy.
It's hard to believe that you weren't confident. You don't seem to have been that person.
Well, I had, and it sounds funny and jokey, but I had the ability to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I ended up being the quarterback, the class president, and I didn't think I had the ability to do any of that.
Yeah.
So just got to be yourself and work on your self-confidence.
Yeah.
Knowing that all these other people are going through the same thing you are. Mm-hmm. You never think of it that way. He doesn't have any more confidence than I do. So let's play basketball. Let's play golf. Because I know in his mind he's thinking of staying, Mm-hmm. And then as you win a few, confidence comes with success. After I won a few football games and threw 4 or 5 touchdown passes, I got it.
Yeah.
Now that I got it, man, I'm not going to brag about it, but
You're not going to stop.
I know I can beat you. But it's a hard chore getting to
that point.
Getting to that point, whether it's dating, whether it's sports, what academia. I didn't like. I hated school academics. Most kids do.
Yeah.
Oh, I love school. I love homework. Yeah. But I love everything else associated with it. The friendships, the lunchtime, the sports, that I went back and spent 27 years teaching.
Right.
Because that was the most fun thing. Going to school was the most fun thing that I ever hated.
That's a good point. I felt the same. My last question for you. I think I can speak for all the grandkids when I say that we've learned pretty much everything from you or from what you've taught our parents. What's one lesson that you hope has stuck with us as we become adults and start to raise our own kids and teach them? What's one thing that you really hope we grasped from you?
The fact that you've been blessed to be part of a loving family. Don't ever let that get out of your grasp. Appreciate it. Lean on it. If you've got that, you've got more than Elon Musk has. I'm serious.
I know.
Always remember how much you are loved, how much you've given love, and how much protection you have because you got so many people in your life.
Yeah.
And the fact that you come from a small family or a large family isn't as important as is it a loving family. Do people really care about each other? And when you're blessed to be in this family, Grandma and I may have started it, but our children right over there took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And we owe them a lot. When you look at, see how happy they were?
Yeah.
They were happy because they had Grandma and I.
Right.
You kids are happy because you got them. And as sad as it may be, or as scary to me, I'm facing a difficult situation. But I truly look forward to being the first to go simply because I dread the thought of not being the first to go. The heartache that anybody has to suffer that I don't want to, whether it's Dr. Joe or back to my dad, my friend. I'm at the age where I've had a wonderful life. And if I can go first, that's fine with me only because I love everybody so much.
Yeah.
That I don't want to take that hurt that we felt with Dr. Joe and some of the other ones.
Yeah.
And
We're lucky.
a priest one time told me, the more you love. At my father's funeral, he wanted me to give the eulogy because he didn't know my dad that well. And I said, I don't think I can do it because I'm hurting too bad. And he said, that's why you can do it. The more you love, the more you hurt. You must have loved your dad a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
One more thing. I just want to know HDSS.
Can't believe I didn't bring that up.
The most important.
What does HDSS mean? Tell everybody.
Different times riding in the car and everything, you try to come up with how do you measure love? And we come up with a cute over years, and I don't know how I come up with it or who helped me with it, whatever. But I want everybody to know in our family that the love within this family, like Grandma and I, like our children, is higher than the highest mountain, the greatest it could possibly be. Higher than the highest mountain, deeper than the deepest sea. I don't know where I got the marshmallow. But softer than the softest marshmallow. It's a measurement.
It's a good
And
one.
stronger than steel. In other words, it's a love that goes to the greatest depths you could possibly get to.
You can feel it. We feel it every day, Gramps.
Love it.
That's all I got for you, Grandpa.
Can we have an amen on that?
Amen. Grandma, come in.
I'll just say amen.
Just come in. Come in for one.
Great job.
I love you, Grandpa.
I love you.
That was awesome.